that a lot of people say Basal Eurasians came from West Asia. We don't actually know for sure. And like, I know personally the guy that invented, like, Yosef Lazaridis came up with Basal Eurasians. I've asked him to his face. He's very unclear where they were. They could be in North Africa. They could be somewhere in the Sahara. They could be in East Africa. That's still within the realm of possibility. So that's why I'm being really vague about this, because we don't actually know for sure until we get the ancient DNA. We don't have any individual from that period that's mostly Basal Eurasian. Like, maybe they never existed as a pure population. That's another thing that people have told me who have worked in this area. In terms of this back migration idea, if you think of Africa just as a geographic continent, not sub-Saharan Africa, I wouldn't be shocked if like this back migration actually happened from Northern Africa, where there was no Neanderthal admixture. Excuse me, but that's where the Basal Eurasians were, right? So, I mean, that's a weird answer, but I think one thing that we need to be open to is the idea the Basal Eurasians are in the northern half of Africa somewhere, and maybe they expanded into the Middle East relatively later, and they never got Neanderthal admixture, right? And so they're a deep clade within the non-Africans, even if they're in Africa, that didn't have Neanderthal admixture, and they're confusing our perception of of like the population structure. So one idea that some people posited is within Africa, and this is true, like there's like this deep structure, and some of the African groups, so for example like Nigerians, are phylogenetically placed between non-Africans and pygmies and Khoisan. Like, well, why is that? One model is this Eurasian back migration, but we don't even need to posit Eurasian necessarily if within Africa there was the Proto-Eurasian group as an African population. So it could be a situation where the original Basal Eurasian group in North Africa was mostly overlain by a Eurasian back migration, but they themselves are responsible for the Eurasian-like signal.